It's finally time for the September 2021 Q&A. Yet again, I know that it's late. I'm very sorry about that, everybody. But hey, you know what? Better late than never. It is finally here. Let's go ahead and get into it. Hey, what is going on, everybody? How are you all doing today? I hope you all are having a wonderful and fantastic day today, and if not, hopefully you all will have a better tomorrow. So it's finally time. The September 2021 Q&A is finally here at last. You know, I would have had it out sooner. Had a few things going on with work and whatnot. Got a project done, so have more time to make content, thankfully. And not only that, but, did have a problem with the video editor when trying to put stuff together the other day, which actually did affect this video. Luckily, I got most of it together. There was a little thing that I'll have to put in the next Q&A, but it's alright. We'll take care of it. We'll get it all there. But you asked the questions. It's my turn to answer them as always. If you have any questions for the next Q&A, please leave them in the comments section down below. If you're on YouTube, Discord, leave them in the monthly Q&A section. And on Minds, if you want to leave them in, here as well, just put them in the section where I put this video, posted this. And I will be sure to get them in there as well. But I do want to thank you all for your patience with me during this time. I mean, I know it's been a long wait, but, I'm trying to get back on schedule here. If there are any questions that I may have also forgotten, please be sure to let me know, and I will absolutely get them within the next Q&A. So, let me know if there's any I forgot, I'll get them in there. But anyways, without further ado, let's start with the YouTube questions as always. First off, Elizabeth McGaden asks, who do you think would actually win between Sonic and Shadow? Now, if I had to say personal opinion between Sonic and Shadow, I gotta go Shadow. Considering the alpha Chad rays this Shadow has coming from him, I think he'd win. He's also the ultimate life form. I mean, Sonic's very powerful himself, don't get me wrong. But if you see the feats, I would probably say that Shadow would be the one to be able to beat Sonic in the end. But that's just me. But yeah, good question. Live Chaos asks, great August Q&A, Draco. Well, thank you very much. I want to thank all of you, though. Because, wasn't for your questions, it wouldn't be great. So, I have to thank all of you for that. By the way, I have a question of my own. If I remember correctly, recall you saying that you were going to review the Roman Torchwick novel, the latest Ruby novel that ruins Neo even more than she already was and gives her a ridiculous name while making Torchwick out to be a total loser because, of course. Are you still going to make a review of that novel? If so, I would really like to hear your thoughts on it and hopefully tear it to shreds. Thanks. Okay, so I am going to do that. I will probably schedule that for maybe late November, early December. I know it's a little late, but I want to reread over it and I want to go over a couple of things regarding the characters again. So I do plan to go over the whole entire thing. God bless, is that novel terrible? I read it. The leaks were actually true. And that novel is absolute shit. I will definitely go into it, and it's going to be torn apart. It really is. But yeah, good question. I'll be sure to update everybody closer to time when that's going to come out. But yeah, good question, man. Duke Nuka-Cola asks, hey Draco, how you doing, buddy? I'm doing well. Thank you very much for asking. I hope all of you are having a wonderful day today, and I hope all of you watching this are enjoying it, and I hope all of you are doing well also. If you've played Animal Crossing, what are your favorite villager personalities? So I'm not really the biggest Animal Crossing fan. I'm more of like a casual fan. I think the last time I played was back on the 3DS, I think it was. Because I had the one for the GameCube and the one for the 3DS. The one I really remember, which was always my favorite. I mean, this is really the only one I do remember. But it was Tom Nook. He was a greedy raccoon, but he was good at trying to build up his business. I like the guy. That's just me, though. I like Tom Nook, but that's just my opinion. Favorite Pokemon waifu per generation. Oh no, this is one I could go into for a while. Gen 1 would be Lorelei. Sabrina is a very, very, very close second. But, Lorelei, I mean, she may have that ice, but she knows how to heat you up if you know what I mean. Oh man. And I always liked her additional arc in Fire Red and Leaf Green. Like, they added more to her that you find out she lives on 4 Island. I thought that was really cool. She was actually in the anime. Some people aren't actually aware of that. So Lorelei, her name in Japanese is Kana, 2-syllable word. Lorelei, 3-syllable. So they changed her name in the anime to Prima to match with the lip syncing. So Prima was not actually her name, it was Lorelei, but that's what they called her. But yeah, so Lorelei from Generation 1 is my favorite. Gen 2 is Jasmine. Karen was a very close second, and not that kind of Karen. not the, I gotta speak to your manager, Karen. But Jasmine was cool. First Steel-type gym leader. And she was a very kind trainer. That's what I liked about her. But she was very kind. You know, trying to heal her Ampharos and everything. Like, Jasmine definitely is my favorite character in Gen 2. Like, or at least in terms of waifu. Definitely my favorite one. Also, I just want to ask, Jasmine, what are you sitting on here? Is there something that you're trying to tell us, Jasmine?
Oh my, how lewd.
Seriously, the artist did good with that one, though. It was just something I always noticed. So Gen 3 would be Flannery. She was my favorite. I liked how she was supposed to be like this new gym leader, and then she was like, nervous about being the gym leader, and then trying to be somebody she wasn't. Like, I liked her character. Now, Pike Queen Lucy is definitely a close second, but Flannery wins in Gen 3. Gen 4. Gen 4, you introduced my favorite character of all time. Cynthia is best character. Not just best girl Pokemon. She's best character. You changed my mind right now. No, seriously. Like, Cynthia, great character. Very intelligent in terms of not just Pokemon, but also, like, archaeology. Considering that she was studying that. And besides, one of the things that everybody will remember Cynthia for, not just her beauty, not just her great character, her strength. Garchomp, back in Gen 4, was so powerful it was banned. It was literally banned from OU because it was so good. Everybody knows the strength of Cynthia because she would mollywop you with no problem. Also, her being like almost 15 levels higher than your team probably because Diamond and Pearl, if you remember, there was a big level gap. Cynthia was tough. A brute, and God, just this character right here, like, I'm serious. Cynthia was a real person. I'd go slap a ring on that finger, then I'd be like, sweetheart, I will lick the sweat off of your body. You tell me where, and I will do it.
Pervert.
But Cynthia, she knows how to definitely catch some eyes and get some people going, if you know what I mean, because she's the best girl. Not just in Gen 4, she's just the best, period. But, yeah, that's just my opinion. Because, God, I love that character. I'm going to move on. Next one, Gen 5 would have to be Elisa. I liked Elisa's character. I really liked what she did for Bianca to help her out in the game. So that she could continue on her journey. And I thought she was great. I really liked her redesign and Black 2 White 2. While I have a problem with Gen 5, like, I have a lot of problems with it. It's not personally my favorite generation. But Elisa was definitely a good part for a gym leader. I did like her. Gen 6, this was tough. I had to think about this one, and definitely had to go down to Serena being the best one. I really had to think about that one, because I did like Valerie, and I did like Karina, and then I was like, you know what? I was like, Serena's the best girl, in my opinion. I think she was the best one, and she has one of the best designs, personally, I think. Besides being a good character, I think that she has one of the best starting character designs that they've ever had. Personal opinion, but that's just me. Gen 7. Mama Lusamine. I love this character. Like, here's the thing. A lot of the characters, like Lily, Gladian, they got good development. But Lusamine, I feel like, came out on top. Being a mother who basically, she loved her children and everything, but she lost her husband, which was like her world. She went crazy. Wanted revenge on the Ultra Beast. Like, Lusamine, she's brilliant. I love her character. And just, I love how she goes from this selfish, crazy character to, realizing, oh, well, I did wrong. Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon went into that. And I really loved her character in the games. Like, she felt very human. And her development, her growth, good. Probably one of the best. And I know Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon gets a lot of, flack. But I thought they were good stories, personally. I really, especially Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, and besides Lusamine. You look at that beautiful woman. Yeah, there is definitely high impact sexual violence. 100%. Oh, God. Oh, man. Nintendo, you know what you're doing. You know, Game Freak. You know, Nintendo, what you're doing. And then Generation 8. God, I don't like Generation 8 at all. But they did have some good characters. Even though some of them didn't have any characteristics at all. But at least Sonya did. I did like her character. Best professor, in my opinion. She journeyed with you and became a professor. She was originally an assistant, and then she became one. I liked her character a lot. Favorite Fire Emblem waifu per game. Oh, now this is an interesting one. So, first off, like in Shadow Dragon, because we obviously got the remake, but Minerva was definitely my favorite. Wyvern Rider, great character, enjoyed her a lot, and I like the reference to her in Awakening. Circe's dragon being called Minerva. I thought that was cool. Then Celica and Shadows of Valencia, we didn't get Gaiden, but we did get the remake. I did really like her story, her character in it, pretty good. Now, Lindis in the Fire Emblem for the Game Boy Advance, she was great, a Lord class, and she was one who would never leave her people, because they're Tribe's people. They would always stay with them. She would stay with Eliwood and Hector. Also, her returning in Awakening as a sword master was great. Give her Astra. That's what I'll say. Just give her Astra. And then Lilina, she was good. I like mage classes a lot, so her class was really useful alongside Roy. So I really did like using her a lot, and she was a cool character. I liked, her relationship with Roy. Eureka was great. She's a bit ditzy. I did like it when she bought the bride dress, and had the bride class later on. Like, I liked that. That was good. The next one would be from Path of Radiance, Titania. Now, I did like Titania. Now, while I wasn't per se the biggest fan of Ike or Path of Radiance, I did like her character being a paladin and then an ex-paladin within Radiant Dawn. And speaking of Radiant Dawn, we have Micaiah, which I liked her because she was a mage. Like I said, mage classes are one of my favorites. Micaiah was also a sweet character. I really liked her a lot. I actually liked her kind of more as protagonist than I did Ike, but that's just me. Then again, I felt Ike was kind of bland. Then Awakening, I love Lucina. Just, to me, she's best girl, period. Then again, she had so many classes she could choose from depending upon the parent, and she was really good. I loved using Lucina. The DLC, giving her, a bride as well, getting some of the abilities of that was good. I also did like her upgrade where you can actually throw spears, like the Gravidius. I did love having her wield the Gravidius so she could throw it. Great character overall. Love Lucina. Camilla, everybody knows I love yanderes. I have a problem. We know I have a problem. But Camilla in Phase is my favorite. Kagero was, very close to second, but yeah, Camilla was number one. And then when it comes to Three Houses, Byleth was my favorite. While Dorothea was a very close second, I definitely had to go with Byleth. Also, just being able to pick from all the range of classes you could use, you could basically play Byleth however you wanted. So, I mean, really, I did like that because, you could do whatever. I kind of like that about Byleth, which I thought was really good. Have you watched Violet Evergarden? If so, what do you think of it? No, I haven't, but I've had it on my list to watch. So I don't really have an opinion on it yet, but I mean, I will when I get there. But personally, I've been looking forward to getting to it and being able to watch it. So, when I do, I'll give you my thoughts on it. But, yeah, no, I haven't watched it yet, so I don't have an opinion. But yeah, good questions, man. Elizabeth Zrid asks, great questions from everyone. If you want to answer this question in future Q&A, go for it. But no obligation to do so if you don't want to. No, it's fine. I'm all for, answering questions on here. So, go ahead and ask whatever, and I'll put it in the Q&A. It's no problem. What are your thoughts on RWBY being delayed until 2022? It saves me of my sanity. You want to talk about me going insane? When I was watching RWBY, Volume 7, Volume 8, even Volume 6, Volume 5, my sanity was just going out the window, especially Volume 7 and Volume 8. That was just, draining to watch. And I was like, people, please, don't watch this, because I'm watching it so that you don't have to suffer. And I'm going to say it about Volume 9, don't watch it. I'll watch it so that you don't have to suffer. I will review it, and I will watch it so you don't have to suffer. I will. But, no, I think it's a good thing. So it saves me and anybody else of their, mentality and not having to go crazy. Personally, I'm pretty suspicious as to why, but I guess we'll find out sooner or later. Can't wait to see what next month's Q&A is in store. Stay safe and God bless everyone. Rooster Teeth themselves, they've been losing money. It's been bad. To the point to where some of their shows, they have to literally partner up with another company to be able to get them going. Because they don't have the budget to keep some of them even going. They don't, because they're losing the audience. They've been losing the audience since Volume 5. Volume 6 was a huge catastrophe for them. Volume 7 made it worse. Volume 8, RWBY is dying. It's been dying. Rooster Teeth as a company, it's dying. To the point to where it's AT&T's oh, we want to get rid of you. Genlock was a complete disaster, which put them even further debt, as well as AT&T. Rooster Teeth's probably not going to be around much longer, but it's also because of budget. It's also because they're not doing well with their budget. They really aren't. And then again, the writers have no interest in RWBY, so that's why. But, yeah, good question, though. Good question. Thanos number 1 asks, Hey Drake, how's it going, man? I'm doing pretty well. Doing pretty well. I hope all of you are also. So I've got three questions for the Q&A. Do you think this is the last volume of Ruby? Probably. Like, you see how bad it's going, how much they're losing, how much their merch doesn't sell? Yeah, probably. I wouldn't be surprised. Because, whenever they were trying to tell people, oh, well, Volume 8 and Volume 9 are greenlit, like at the end of Volume 7, that was already a bad sign. You know, trying to promise something just because something's greenlit, I also want to keep people in mind here. Just because something's greenlit doesn't mean that it's 100% going to take off. It could still get canceled. Just saying. After Ruby is done, are you going to review anything else in the future, movies, TV shows, or manga? I mean, I could if everybody would want me to. It's funny because whenever I made this channel originally, that's what I was going to do. And then for a while, it was Ruby oriented, which I didn't really mean for it to get as, Ruby oriented, because I meant to also talk about other anime and manga as well. And then I just got so caught up on it. And then I was like, okay, well, like it's falling apart. I was like, so I'll just get to talking about the stuff that is going on in the culture and try to help, fight the good fight for, pop culture, try to save culture. But yeah, I mean, I can do that if people want. So, I mean, if people want me to, I can get more to that. I'll make out a schedule and do that, as well as talk about stuff that's going on. If I were to get more into that, I'd have to work things out because, balance work and time and everything. So I'd have to, figure out a schedule when I would upload stuff like that, like reviews and whatnot, and maybe make a specific day out of the week and do that. I mean, I could put it all together, figure it all out, but if you all want me to do that, then I will. Let me know down below, and I will definitely do it. Favorite waifus in One Piece? Okay, so Boa Hancock, I basically have two. One of them being Boa Hancock, because, well, for one, when Boa Hancock was introduced, enjoyed her character, besides, how she feels about Luffy. How she wants to marry him and everything. I like the running gag with that. It's really hilarious. I mean, who knows? Who knows what Oda's going to do by the end of the series, but I do like her character. She's actually very powerful as well. You don't mess with Boa Hancock. I mean, she's great. And then Nico Robin's my number one, 100%. I've always loved her character since, she was introduced in the series. And then, when you get to the Enies Lobby arc, that to me is, probably the best arc in One Piece, in my opinion. I mean, I loved that. Robin's backstory is so heartbreaking. I love it. I really do. And it just made me adore Robin's character even more. But that's just me. But yeah, good questions, man. So Ronan289 asks, what are your top 5 favorite animes? Okay, so this is a pretty good question. So I've talked about this before, but because there's plenty of anime I've watched over the years. But my top 5 favorites, I'd have to say probably at 5 would be High School DxD. And for a harem series, I will say, it actually has plot. It actually, goes into characters and development. Because, there's a lot of harem series that what they do is they focus basically just, on the fan service. Which, fan service is not a bad thing. I do like fan service myself. But, I do like substance. I do like a plot. And High School DxD really does well with that. Also, putting in, mythologies and religions and stuff. I think it's actually cool. But that's just me. I really like the take on High School DxD. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I love JoJo. I mean, I've loved JoJo all the way back since the 90s. I got into JoJo by the manga back in, I think, 95. I think it was. And loved it. It's so good. And, I mean, there have been some points, ups and downs, of course. But JoJo's been fantastic from the beginning all the way up to this point. I love it. The characters are great. So many memes from it. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is beautiful. If you haven't watched it, get into it, please. I do like Fairy Tail. Now, I know, Fairy Tail, it has its ups and downs, definitely other series do. But I do like it. Then again, I've always been a big Hiro Mashima fanboy, I'll be real with you. I love that man. Talk about an inspiration to me. Definitely Hiro Mashima. I love his art style also, and it's only gotten better over time. If you were to go back to Rave, his very first series, you go to the beginning of Rave to the end of it, you definitely see how his art evolved. And Fairy Tail's fantastic to me. But, and it's still continuing, with the 100-year quest. So I do love me some Fairy Tail. Yu Yu Hakusho, I think, is just, this is a genius show. It has great action, excellent characters. I mean, you have a wonderful cast. Yoshihiro Dagashi is a damn genius. He also created Hunter x Hunter. But this man, he made the Alpha Chad anime Yu Yu Hakusho. If you haven't watched this, go back and watch it. Do it. It's glorious. I love it. And then Code Geass is probably my all-time favorite. Code Geass, in my opinion, it's really good. I mean, the cast are fantastic. Like, Lelouch as a character, I love him to death. And, CC or C2, however you want to call her, I love her character also. Especially her backstory. Lelouch's story as well, like, it's so good. The ending, to me, is, like, the perfect anime ending. But that's just my opinion. But, yeah, those are my 5 favorites. But, that's just me. But if you haven't watched any of them, I recommend all of them. But that's what I have to say. Andrew Rogers asks, here's a spicy one. Are you religious, agnostic, or an atheist? So, believe it or not, I'm actually a Christian. That's just me. I believe that everybody has the right to believe in whatever they want to believe in. Whether you want to believe in a religion or not, whatever you want to believe in, that's up to you. I'm not going to tell you what you should or should not believe in. I think everybody has the right to, openly believe whatever they want to believe in. Or not believe in, But yeah, personally, I am a Christian. I'm basically everything Hollywood hates. Think about it. It's hilarious. I'm every single last thing that Hollywood would hate. Oh, it's great. It's actually funny to think about. When they say, you make the right people angry. Yeah, I definitely would make them angry. Oh, man. And I'm okay with it. I'm glad to make them angry. But yeah, so moving on to the Discord questions. Captain Boomerang asks, what anime cliche needs to end? Oh, that's a good question. There's one personally I don't care for, but I think it's more of like a realistic human characteristic. So I'm not saying it has to end, but I do see it sometimes. And when I do, I think it just stuns the growth of a character. Is when a character holds on to, like, say, it could be male or female. I've seen it with both male and female characters in anime. But it could be where, like, for example, a character falls in love with another character and they can't ever let him go. Despite how the other character's like, hey, I'm not into you, let it go. And then they keep going. Like, Menager from Gundam Unicorn pissed me off in the anime because he wouldn't let go of Audrey. Like, that got on my nerves. Like, or Sakura from Naruto, like, where she wouldn't ever let Sasuke go. I mean, like, Jesus Christ. The guy tries to kill you twice. And you literally are like, I still love you. Like, are you joking? Like, it didn't help the growth of the character at all. Like, that's something that that does get on my nerves. Like, sometimes it's like you hold on to somebody so hard that you're just stupid at that point. They tried to kill you the first time, you'd think, oh, I'm done. It's kind of a cliche that does get on my nerves. But like I said, there are some people that are like that. So, I'm not saying it needs to end, but Jesus Christ, is it one that pisses me off? But that's just me. But yeah, good question, man. Adam Soup asks, any update of your Ruby rewrite? If so, are you still continuing, or you decide to cancel it due to extremely low interest and disgusted by RT and Ruby ongoing poor reputation? Oh, that's a good question. So, I was going to do an Adam rewrite for those of you who do not know. And, I still have it planned. It's just I got so busy with work. It got to the point where I just didn't really get time to write any more of it. And it's not that I canceled it, but, I just had been so busy with life and other things. I could still do it. If people want me to do it, I could schedule time and I could get to it. It might be like early next year. I know I said that like a year ago, but, I got so busy with work. But, if people want me to do it, I could still do it. That's up to you guys. Let me know in the comments below if you want me to do it. Best Rat Waifu asks, do you have any goth waifus? Oh, I definitely do. First off, Sailor Saturn from Sailor Moon. Hotaro Tomoe. I mean, she's great. I do like her. Then again, there's a lot of characters in Sailor Moon I like, to be fair, but she would definitely be a goth waifu. Another one would be from Danganronpa, Celestia Ludenberg. I do like her character. She was actually a good goth waifu. And then a big one from Love Live would be Kurumi Tokisaki, which she's actually my favorite goth waifu. Like, this character, I love her to death. Like, oh man, she definitely would have to be number one. Then again, I really enjoy Love Live as a series as a whole. Like, God, it's so good. I really enjoy it a lot. But yeah, good question. For September Q&A, what do you remember doing 9/11? What was your experience hearing about it? Oh, I remember I was at school. I remember another classroom actually had the TV on. And I remember they crashed the plane, the first one, the first jet into the tower. And I remember people were panicking, freaking out. And of course, my classroom we didn't know about, because we didn't have our TV on. And so then next thing you know, I remember there was a teacher who ran into our room and said a jet just crashed into the tower. And I remember like we all were like, "What is going on?" And then we turned our TV on and we watched it, and it was terrifying and an absolute horrifying sight to see. I remember that. That was, I mean, it was awful. No, I do remember that morning as if it was yesterday. I completely remember. It was a horrifying, terrible experience. I do remember that. But yeah, good question, man. Thomas Halo asks, "Hey Draco, hope you're still doing pretty good. Is there any anime or manga that or you like that everyone else doesn't like, and an anime or manga you don't like that everyone else likes?" Oh, that's a good question. What anime that I like that some people, some people like it, some people don't. But it does get some hate, which was Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal. I do actually like Zexal. The main character, Yuma, is pretty obnoxious. But he gets better as time goes on. But in the beginning, dear God, he was bad. But I like the Barry and Onslaught arc. That's so good. Vector being like one of my favorite characters ever. But when it comes to a series that people like that I don't like, I don't really care for Seven Deadly Sins. That's one. I don't really care much for it. I know a lot of people like it. I don't. Like, I feel there was a lot of wasted potentials, I guess the best way to put it. Also, I found it odd that they swapped up Meliodas and Elizabeth's characters from who they were in the manga and the anime. Like, their characters were like 180 of each other. Like, Elizabeth was the shy one in the anime, while Meliodas was the perverted one in the anime. Now, in the manga, Meliodas was actually the shy one, and Elizabeth was the perverted one. It felt weird to me why they changed their character up. I didn't really get that either. And also another one that I don't really care for. I mean, I keep up with it, but I don't like it, which is Boruto. I guess there's a part of me that's like, I hope it gets good, but at the same time, I'm like, it's kind of bad. It's not the greatest. But, Salad, which is Sarada, but Salad, I call her that, but I think she's like the best character, but, that's just me. Best rat waifu ass, best demon waifus. Oh, that's a good one. So first off, I would definitely have to go with Rias Grimory, because, I do love me some High School DxD, and Rias does it. She's definitely a good one. Akano is also another good one, because Akano is one of the best girls. And then, of course, the best girl of DxD is Zenobia. It changed my mind. She's my favorite. I love her the most. She's the best girl. And then Albedo from Overlord. God, her character's good. Oh man, her and how she feels about Ainz and everything. Like I love her interactions. She's so good. Probably one of the best parts of Overlord. Really. I mean Ainz as well because he's such a badass. But yeah, good question, man. James95 asks, which characters in anime got the best VA for dub compared to sub anime? Oh man, it's crazy. I really liked the dub Ichigo. Johnny Young Bosch's Ichigo and Bleach. I thought he was really good actually. I thought he was good as a Lelouch too, and I thought that CC or C2, whatever you want to go by with Code Geass, Kate Higgins, she did a great job as CC in my opinion. Karen Strassman did really good. Also, because she was in that, she played as Colin. She did really good too. Then again, I could just praise Code Geass's dub. Because that's one of those, where you could watch the anime and, both sub and dub, and you appreciate both because they're just so good. That's just me, though. I really think that probably was the best. In terms of watching it however you want, really there. Whether you're a subs or a dubs person. What do you think of the dub for Konosuba Season 1 and 2? And I think this is great and well done. I actually haven't watched the dub. I watched it sub, so I wouldn't know. I can't give an opinion on the dub of it, but I did watch it sub. But that's just me. Foster Yeager asks, for the September Q&A, what Pokemon do you think Palpatine would use? Oh, Jesus. Palpatine would be that guy to eradicate you. He'd use the best possible Pokemon. For what, I think he'd use Tapu Koko because it would fare well with, how he always, Force Lightning a lot. Which actually is a very strong Force technique at that. But, yeah, Tapu Koko. This thing is a monster. Like, oh, set up electric terrain. Oh, I could just go ahead and boost all my electric moves. Oh, rising voltage is a thing. Oh, yeah, so like 180 base rising voltage. That sounds great. And then Yveltal, because it is literally the death bacon bird. Like, seriously, it looks like bacon. Have you seen it shiny? It looks like actual bacon. But no, seriously, Yveltal, yeah, he would have that, because that thing just auto-death, sucks up the life of everything. Then if Yveltal dies, then it just takes all the souls of everything around it to come back to life. It's crazy. And then he would be that guy to have Zacian, because Zacian's one of the best Uber's Mons out there. This thing's nuts. No, I'm serious. As much as I don't like Generation 8, this thing was probably one of the best things to come out of Gen 8. Like, oh yeah, attack +1, automatically be thrown on the field. I heard that was good. God. Primal Groudon, because this could basically be his Death Star. Like, oh look, I don't have to charge your Solar Beam. Boom! Pew! Like, and it blows up everything. And then also just, you know, the complete drought and destruction of the planet. Yeah, no, that sounds pretty fair, right? I think he'd have that. And then, oh yeah, Kyogre does the same thing. You know, it destroys the planet, but it does it in terms of water, because it's going to flood everything and create storms. Yeah, no, he would have these two. Like, he would be that guy to destroy the entire world with these. Like, that's what he would do. But hey, you know what? He would have the prime of everything, because he would also be that guy with Mega Rayquaza. This would be his Mega. He would have Mega Rayquaza, the one Pokemon that was so good it was banned from everything. You literally could not use Mega Rayquaza in anything, because it was so good. Oh yeah, weakness policy Mega Rayquaza sounds great. Don't have to have a Mega Stone to hold? Oh yeah, no, that's good. Hold any item you want. Focus Sash? Oh yeah, no, that's great. Yeah, no, he would have those. He'd have the most overpowered things possible. Then what Pokemon do you think Thrawn would use? Oh, well, this is pretty obvious yet again. So Thrawn, I feel like for one, he'd have a Smeargle. Now everybody's thinking, Smeargle? Why would he have a Smeargle? Now, if you're a competitive player, you'll understand that Smeargle is one of the biggest pieces of shit to go up against. Because this thing, you can teach it every move with Sketch. Yeah, use Spore, put him to sleep, then set up Stealth Rock or Sticky Web, you know, like all the entry hazards. Yeah, this thing is really good. Smeargle is a great Pokemon. Realistically, I could see him having that. That'd be one. Luxray would probably be a decent Electric type. Now, Luxray is not the most powerful Pokemon ever, but I just feel like it would suit him. I feel like Thrawn would be that guy to probably use this thing. Let it have, like, Guts as its ability, so if it gets burned or poisoned, its attack gets doubled, then he uses Facade, because he's that guy. Or Intimidate, either one would work. And then Gyarados, because Gyarados is a good sweeper. And I feel like he'd be able to perfectly set up a Gyarados, be able to sweep, because that's what Thrawn would probably do. He'd probably get your defenses low enough, and then he'd set up Gyarados and Dragon Dance, and then he'd destroy you with, like, Waterfall, Earthquake, or Ice Fang, or Crunch, whatever move he felt would be, you know, best suited. So yeah, no, Gyarados would be one that'd be really good. Another one I think he'd use would be Clefable. Some people are thinking, Clefable? Why Clefable? Clefable is a terrifying threat that some people don't realize. Unaware is such a good ability because if your opponent sets up, it never happened. Because Clefable's unaware to it, so it never saw it, so it never happened. So that means that Swords Dance used on your Garchomp? No, it didn't happen. It's crazy. And it's a fairy type, which is a good type in the game. So, yeah, Clefable, good Pokemon to use. And then Hydreigon, because probably one of the better pseudo-legendaries. Not the best, but definitely one of the better ones. You know, he could actually use this thing, nasty plot, set up, and then just destroy everything with special attack moves. I mean, realistically, Hydreigon, it's a terrifying Pokemon. Like, that thing, if you let it set up on you, that thing's going to destroy you. So yeah, no, Hydreigon, definitely a big threat. And then I feel like he'd have a Metagross, but to make things better, it'd be a Mega. And then to make it even better, it'd be like a prize trophy because it'd be shiny. So he would have a shiny Mega Metagross, which is one of the best Megas. He would have this thing, and it would terrorize you. He would let you think that everything else he had prior was like the worst catastrophe ever. And then, next thing you know, Mega Metagross comes on the field, and he's like, yeah, no, now you're screwed. Like, I could see it. But yeah, good question, man. Best Rat Wife asks, what's your opinion on the new Hololive EN girls? Which one is your favorite? So far, I like Hako's Bales and Oro Coroni. Yeah, they're both really good. I like Fauna. I like Coroni. I like all of them, but like if I had to say like my favorites, probably be Mume, because Mume's the best one in my opinion. But that's just me. I like Mume, and I like Fauna a lot. Then again, when she goes Yandere mode, I like it, but that's just me. Like I said, I have problems. Everybody knows this by now. But yeah, good question, man. So Anthony asked, what do you like better, McDonald's or Applebee's? Now, I'll put it like this. I have a thing when it comes to McDonald's. If I had to choose one or the other, at least Applebee's is not going to make me vomit. Now, here's the big thing about it. So McDonald's, this has to do with the story. So back when I was like 17, 18 years old, this is a long time ago, I had McDonald's one day. And so, like I used to live with my grandmother and my father. And my grandmother had a stomach virus. And so that day I had McDonald's and later a salad. And I got the very same stomach virus that she did. And I vomited from the couch all the way to like the front bathroom. Because it was the closest bathroom. And I was so sick. It was horrible. I was miserable. I thought I was going to die. I literally vomited up blood. I thought I was literally going to die. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, I was so bedridden for a week, I couldn't walk. And I was vomiting, like, every day. And I had to have people wait on me because I was so ill. I could not get up. I had no energy. It was terrible. Now, it's not that I don't like McDonald's, just my stomach won't hold it. So I'd have to say Applebee's because I know I won't throw up. But, I can't eat salads anymore either because of it. But that's just me. But, yeah, so Applebee's. Best Rat Waifu asks, seeing your tier list from the last Q&A, can you do one for VTuber waifus? Yes, I can. So, edit here in this. There was a problem with the editing last time, and I kind of lost some of the waifu tier list for the VTuber. So what I'll do is I will redo that for the next Q&A, and I will have that there. So I will do VTuber waifu list in the next Q&A. I do apologize that it's not in this one. I know that's disappointing. And believe me, I was disappointed that I lost that as well. But I'll get it up there. And it'll be interesting, because sometimes waifus can change your tier list, and you'll see what I mean soon enough. But yeah, good question, man. I will be sure to get that out in the next Q&A. Captain Boomerang asks, what's your favorite Joe Biden meme? Okay, so I have to be careful with this because it's YouTube. But I did like the one that was put on the billboard recently. You know what I'm talking about? That was absolutely hysterical. And when the press went all insane over it and everything, I was laughing. That killed me because it was so funny. It was great. I laughed over it. And the media, they were losing their shit. It was great. It was so funny. I was laughing hard. That was probably one of the best ones, in my opinion, but that's just me. But yeah, good question, man. Best Rat Waifu asks, here's a scenario. You're a Pokemon trainer getting ready to battle the Hololive girls. List each one you think would be the most easiest to difficult to battle and what Pokemon they will be using. Okay, now this will be something right here. Personal opinion on which one I think would be the easiest to hardest. And this is going to be really interesting. So, watching, their streams, getting to know them, I feel like Amelia might be the one that might be the easiest. And I feel like Callie would be the hardest one, either her or Gura. And in terms of teams, Amelia would do good, though. Don't get me wrong. When I mean easy, I don't still mean like, oh, she's going to be somebody you're going to beat through. So, for example, let me tell you how her team would work. So, I'm going to go into like a competitive lens here. So, you're going to be thinking, oh, wow, this is going to be interesting. Okay, so for those of you who are competitive, you'll get what I'm saying. For those of you who aren't, here's the lesson. Okay, so first off, she's going to have Mega Houndoom as her main. That's going to be her boss. She's going to set up the sun with that Rotom Heat. Because Rotom Heat can set up the sun. Solar power activates on Houndoom. Special attack increases while the sunlight's going. I mean, yeah, it takes about 10% of its HP per turn. But it won't be too bad. And then it will kill you with like Fire Blast or Overheat or Solar Beam. Depending upon what moves you want to use. And since the special attack's also increased, this also means that Dark Pulse stab damage is going to do a lot of damage too. Maybe even Shadow Ball. Depends on what the moveset's going to be. But yeah, there's that. Also, Mamoswine can set up rocks. Not too bad. It can also set up Sandstorm. Because then you could have Sand Rush Stoutland. And Sand Rush Stoutland's attack and speed increases in the Sandstorm. So that thing's going to be a brute to go up against. It would be pretty good. Dragon Dance, Dragonite, also with it having weakness policy because you can have multi-scale so that its weakness moves will not, beat it in one turn. And then, of course, the weakness policy will increase its attack, special attack. The Dragon Dance will increase its attack and speed. And then it's going to rush through you. So it's a +3 attack, +1 speed. It would be brutal. And then same thing for Alligator with Sheer Force, Life Orb. Because Life Orb won't activate because of Sheer Force in terms of damaging it. It'd be pretty good. So really, Amelia, I think, would probably be the weakest one, but still pretty good. Then you have Kiara. Kiara is going to be one that's going to make you think that, oh man, it's going to be easy to beat her, and then she's going to trick you out. I feel like Kiara would be that person to troll you. That's why she has the Scar and Blizz combo, where Skarmory will set up, like rocks. And then it will whirlwind you out, and then there's something that is super effective on Skarmory, swap it out, go into Blissey. Blissey tanks the special attack hit. Anything physical comes in, then she goes back into Skarmory. I feel like she'd do that, because that was the old Scar and Blizz combination that still even works this very day, actually. It's a stall tactic. She might even have Toxic on the Skarmory, or on the Blissey, poison the Pokemon, and then they go down. And then if she doesn't have that, because like, say if there's a poison type, Thunder Wave, make it slower, and then beat him that way. She could also stall out with Sylveon, because Sylveon, with Toxic, along with, Wish and Protect, so it can heal itself within a turn. And then have Pixelate, Hyper Voice, have a 20% boost on the stab damage now, Fairy type Hyper Voice, that'd be crazy. Hydreigon to set up, I wouldn't doubt she'd have that. Superior would be nuts, because contrary Superior setting up would be insane. And then Mega Blaze Chicken, I feel like, in which I call Blaziken Blaze Chicken because I do feel it's overrated. But Blaziken itself as a Mega is not bad. It's actually a good Mega. And I bet she would have Protect, Power Up Punch, Close Combat, and Flare Blitz, because she's going to Protect, boost her speed, Power Up Punch, boost her attack. And each turn, the speed's going to increase. So she would probably be really someone threatening to face off against, possibly even one of the better ones here. Then Ina, I think, would be interesting. She has a little bit of a octopus spread team here, because she has the Octolock combo with Grapple Lock, where it reduces your defenses and the Pokemon's stuck in, and then you just beat it down with the Octolock lock. And then the contrary strategy that Kiara would have would also be on her Malamar, because it can use superpower, boost its attack and defense. Because contrary, here's how this works. If you were to use a move that lowers your stats, it actually increases them. And if you use a move that increases your stats, it lowers them. So Malamar would use superpower, because superpower is a move that decreases your attack and defense after use. Well, instead it would increase her attack and defense. So her Malamar would increase. Also, she would stall out with Toxapex, I feel, because Toxapex, can sit there and it could just, Toxic, Scald, whatever it needs to, Baneful Bunker to protect itself, recover. It'd be one of those trolls, and then Regenerator, so she has to pull it back out, and then she can, then it gets 30% of its HP when it goes back, and then comes back in. Chandelure, I feel like, would work for her, because she could actually, use Overheat, burn through the Pokemon, swap it back out, go back in. It could be like the target that she could use along with Toxapex. And then Klefki could set up barriers like Light Screen and Reflect, and in turn, her Pokemon's defenses and special defenses are increased with those barriers, which it also gets Prankster, so it goes first. And then Mega Gyarados basically to be her tanky sweeper. I mean, I think that'd be how she would work. And then Gura. Gura would be a water team. I feel like she would be, just one big water user, which Rain Dance teams are not bad. Realistically, you could swap people with them. One of the most threatening teams back in Generation 6 and 7 was actually with a Mega Swampert. I remember people would actually come in with Drizzletoad, which is Polytoad with Drizzle, set up the Rain immediately. And then you'd go into Swampert, it would have Swift Swim, Swampert would then be a tank, and if Megas come back again, which God I hope they do one day, I swear to God, Game Freak, you better bring my Mega Charizard. I swear to God. But Mega Swampert could just bulldoze through people, especially with it now knowing bulk up. Like, Swampert can bulldoze hard, especially with that increase of speed by the rain. You could have Empoleon set up, which would be a really good tactic, because it could set up Stealth Rock and also Defog if your opponent actually sets up entry hazards. So it'd be pretty good. You could have Toxic as well, so you can poison your target or Scald to burn them. So realistically, that would be good. Gyarados be using setup moves so that it can, sweep. Sharpedo doing the same, protect, so then it can have speed boost, increasing its speed, and then just go in there and just plow. I mean, that would be good. And then, you could either have Sniper Kingdra, or you could have Swift Swim Kingdra, because Swift Swim Kingdra has its speed doubled in rain. I'd prefer the Swift Swim for the rain. And then, of course, your water type attacks are increased. And then if you wanted to use Focus Energy with Sniper, you can do that to up your critical hit ratio. It's pretty good. But then Callie, I think, would come in being the best one. And here's the thing. Her best Pokemon wouldn't even need to be a Mega because I feel like she would be the one with Garchomp. I feel like she'd be the one with the World Destroyer. Because she's going to come in there and she's going to have, like, the Mega Lucario to just make you think, oh, this is her best. Then the Mega Lucario, like, beats through about 3 to 4 Pokemon because adaptability too strong. And then you're just like, oh, wow, this is her ace. Let's beat it down. Next thing you know, she sends out Tyranitar, and then you have Garchomp. And it's like, oh. Infernape there to sweep because Infernape is really good as a firefighting type. It could be mixed set, special and physical attack. Crobat to take care of any, entry hazards, and she could fake them out thinking, oh, it's a poison type attack. It's going to come in, and then it not knowing any poison attacks. Then having, like, U-turn to kill any psychic type that comes in, or anything to that sort. Like, it could be terrifying. And then she could have Milotic to stall. So, I mean, realistically, she'd have some sweepers, and then Tank Boy over there, Tyranitar, you could actually set up Dragon Dance, or it could set up Rocks, depending, however you want to use the set, as a defensive role or an offensive role. And then Garchomp just comes in because terrifying. Because this thing's going to look at you and it's like, oh, I'm sorry, Swords Dance, Scale Shot, what? What are you going to do? And it's like, oh no, that's a +2 attack, +1 speed Garchomp. You just lose. Like, you just... I feel like Callie would be very, very tactical. I feel like she'd be the one to actually outsmart a lot of opponents. So really, I think she'd actually turn out to be the strongest one. And fake you out on what her ace is, when Garchomp would be the ace. Now, when it comes to the Council, the Hololive Ian Council, this is kind of an interesting one. If I had to say, probably the weakest one might be Sana. Because I feel like she would actually still be strong, though. In the same sense, she may be the weakest one. But realistically, she's still strong. I feel like her team would consist of a Trick Room team. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with that, basically what it is Pokemon that are slow, they become fast. And anything fast becomes slow. It basically turns a turtle into a rabbit and a rabbit into a turtle. It's basically what it does for up to 5 turns. So, she would have Dusknoir set up the Trick Room. Now, Meganium would be there to stall. So, there would be that. Now, of course, the Torkoal could combine with the Meganium so that the Meganium could use solar beams because the sunlight, because, Torkoal gets drought, so you have sun for 5 turns along with the Trick Room for 5 turns. That'd be pretty good. And then you make them very fast. I mean, that'd be nuts. Or you could just have the Torkoal use solar beam. And, the Meganium could just stall. But you get my point. Or you could have double the firepower. Then... everything slow, still goes fast. So Reuniclus, which is a psychic type, it would be able to just obliterate the psychic. You can Calm Mind set up and then, just start obliterating everything. Because, you have a bunch of tanky Pokemon put together on a team that is slow, but whenever they're mixed around with Trick Room, they're all fast. That's why Mega Ampharos back in Generation 6, Generation 7 was pretty good because you'd have it on Trick Room teams. And then as slow as it was, at base 45 speed, I believe it was, if I recall, it was very low. Then it would be one of the fastest Pokemon because Trick Room would do the opposite effect. So, Ampharos could get around, Dragon Pulsing things, Thunderbolt, Power Gym, it would be pretty, catastrophic. Like, it would be a monster. So, really, she could be pretty good. Still a weaker team, but it wouldn't be the worst. Now, Fauna could be pretty decent as well. I think she'd probably be just a little bit better than Sana would, because what she'd have is Staraptor could actually use Tailwind to increase speed, so she'd be like the opposite. You get speed up to 4 turns. So then, you'd have things like Lucario to be able to set up, or just come in and start smashing things. Delphox is set up with Calm Mind, so its special attack can just breeze through anything that's like physical walls, but not tanky and special departments, so you can just beat it. Azumarill could be your tank, because, huge power to Azumarill is nuts. I have actually beaten a Mega Mewtwo Y with a huge power to Azumarill. Keep that in mind. They're pretty crazy. Don't underestimate the Water Fairy type, which is also one of the best typings in the entire game. Then also, Electros. Electros can come in there and swap around, with Volt Switch or U-turn, depending on how you want to use it, so it wouldn't really be that bad. It could be a tricky bond to get around. Also, Levitate, making it not have any weaknesses unless your opponent's Pokemon has something like Mold Breaker to be able to hit with Earthquake. Aside from that, yeah, Electros has no weakness. And then, Mega Venusaur as your best, because it would be tanky. If you were to combine that with the Staraptor's Tailwind, it would be fast. And then that thing is just trucking through teams. Pretty good, actually. They also get Earth Power now. If you wanted to mix things around, put it like Sunny Day on the Delphox and have like a Weather Ball, Fire, or Venusaur. That would be ridiculous. Oh god, I've seen it. I've done it, in fact. You KO a lot of Pokemon with that thing. And that's not even Mega. It's kind of terrifying. Now, Bales, how I think she would work. She'd be one of those that would stall you out, but also try to eliminate you with either overly threatening Pokemon or try to play games with you. Because here's how I think she'd work. Because you have Raichu, you have Salamence. They'd be your swift sweepers. More so Salamence than Raichu, but you get my point. Then you have Marowak, who is going to Rockhead your opponent because, Flare Blitz Rockhead's really good. Unless you want to go Lightning Rod as your ability instead of Rockhead, because then you can absorb all the electric type attacks, although you don't really have anything weak to electric, so Rockhead would probably be better. And then you could Flare Blitz without any recoil damage, which stab damage also, because, it's a fire type move, and it's a fire type, Alolan Marowak is. So that would work. And then you had Bisharp. You could set up with Bisharp, because, Jesus Christ, I've beaten somebody by 6-0ing them with a Bisharp. I'm not kidding. That has happened. That is a threatening mon if you let it be threatening. And so Bisharp with, stab damage knockoff, insanely good. It's insanely good. Quagsire, people underestimate this thing. It gets the ability Unaware. I call it Derpsire, because I've made people rage quit. So I can understand why you would hate this thing, because, Toxic Stall. Well, they got a Steel type? Oh, burn it! What are they going to do? So really, Quagsire is good. It's an insanely good Pokemon. And Spiritomb could also be actually a stall. It could also be a slow tank. Really good. And the Mega Salamence is Mega Salamence. Dragon Dance, sweep. That's basically all you need to do. So, yeah. I think Bales would be really good. Now, Mume would be deceptive. Now, what I mean by that is, she comes off as cute and innocent, but she has a side to her that is very menacing. Realistically, Mume will beat you if you let her. That's a terrifying thing. She will come off as, oh, I'm cute and harmless, and then she will destroy you. Because I guarantee you that's what will happen. I mean, you look at Whimsicott. Whimsicott, for those of you who may not know, that thing's a little pain in the ass. Let me tell you why that thing's a pain in the ass. The reason why is because it has Prankster. Unless you're a Dark type, Prankster always goes first. Now, Dark types Prankster doesn't affect, because they nerfed it. Gen 6, though, it could do that easily. Same with Gen 5. Now, of course, they changed that. But, still, really good ability. Very, very, very good. Very strong ability. So she can use priority moves first. So, she can set up Tailwind. Everything can get faster then. So, she can do the same thing, right there with Tailwind. And then, you can have, Scizor. Technician Scizor is busted. Because, you use, Bug Bite, Bullet Punch. It's really good. So it boosts weaker moves and makes them a lot stronger. Nidoking with Sheer Force. Life Orb doesn't actually hurt it, so it does really good. You can either make Nidoking physical or special set, so that's good. Argonine's good, because it can be a stall, it can be offensive. Just depends on how you want to use it. Greninja's really good because Protein. Because Mume, for example, she can be sweet sometimes, and then she can be menacing. She can be terrorizing. So, Greninja swapping its type up really good, and then Lopunny is just a straight-up sweeper. So, and it also hits ghost types. So that would be that. And then when it comes to Crony, I think Crony would actually be probably the fiercest one. If it wasn't Mume, then it's definitely Crony. Crony's going to have Swampert for stall. I can see that. Or it could be like a tank. Because you can either stall out your opponent, or you can be a tank with Swampert. So you have two good options with it. Braviary is strong. Not only is it a good strong Pokemon, yet again, you're seeing a trend to Tailwind. Tailwind can set up. And then Swampert could actually be fast. Terrifying thought. Salamence comes out with Intimidate, so your physical attacking Mons lose their attack by one stage. So that's already a -1 if you have a physical attacker on the field. And then Salamence can set up a Dragon Dance. It can also defog, so if you don't need it to be, a sweeper, then you could actually have it sit there, take care of entry hazards. Pretty good. Swampert can also set up entry hazards, so that also is a thing. Weavile is pretty good for just basically going around using knockoff, priority ice shard. So you can get chip damage, you can knock off your opponent's item, plus stab damage. So that makes Weavile really good. So, and it can possibly revenge kill something. So Weavile's really good. That's a good mon. Gardevoir, is also really good because Guard of War can burn your opponent with a Will-O-Wisp. You can use Calm Mind so you can set up for it. It's also a fairy type, so it eliminates dragons. I mean, yeah, you already have Salamence, you have Weavile to take care of that opposition, but you can do that. And then Mega Metagross, because I feel like this would be Crony's ace. Because, Mega Metagross, Tough Claws, beating through everything, priority, really good mod. But yeah, that's how I see it. I think Callie would probably be the strongest one out of all of them, though, but that's just me. But yeah, good question, man. Anime AK 116 puts up these memes. Remember your favorite franchises are dead. Like everything you love from the 70s. I mean, some of them. Realistically, like, there's some anime that are out there that are still alive, like Gundam. And that was, 79? It's still alive, still kicking, still doing good. That live action movie, though, I'm not excited for that. But the anime, still doing good. I'm just saying. Then this meme, tactical applications of the Jacko pose. Ha! Amateurs can't even hide properly. And then outwitted belligerent, attractive female posterior. Appropriate application could save you today. Well, I don't think anybody would be dumb enough to do that in combat, but hey, the Jacko pose is still something good. Am I right or am I right? But yeah, good memes, man. Best Rat Waifu asks, if you took pre-Volume 3 Neo and post-Volume 3 Neo and put them in the ring, who would win, and how do you see them fighting? Well, the original Neo from Volumes 2 and 3, well, she's actually going to be very fast, agile, and she's actually going to be fighting very much acrobatically, like an acrobatic style. That's pretty much how she fought. She basically was like that. And she also was able to use her opponent's strength against them. That's how Neo fought. She was very smart with her style because she was experienced. Opposed to Volume 6 Neo to present, she fights as if she's been completely slugged. I mean, seriously, you want to talk about slowing someone down? It's like you literally put cinder blocks on her feet, and then she's fighting, just being like, having that weight weigh her down. It's terrible. She's no longer fast or agile, she's just shit. That's the best way to put it. I hate to say it, considering, I do like Neo, but they treat her like garbage. And look, she's going to get the Adam treatment in Volume 9. It's going to happen. She's going to get the treatment that Ironwood and Adam both got. It's going to happen. Because they hate her character. They're going to do it. I mean, Volume 9, it's going to be a catastrophe also. It's all going to be shit. Get ready for it. I will tear every ounce of it apart that is shit. Because it's going to be, and we all know it. But, so, what makes Batman Beyond better than all the shows and comics that have the original characters replaced by the new generation heroes? Well, I mean, Terry McGinnis, he was a well fleshed out character. People like his Batman. And, while he's, not as smart as Bruce, he's still very strong. He's definitely someone who took up the mantle, I think, very well as Batman. Batman Beyond also had great characters that were, in a sense, some of them descendants, from other characters. And some of them brand new, but they were good concepts. I mean, a series that I think that does passing the torch down pretty well. Like, for example, you could take Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot of them are really good. I think GX has probably one of the best main characters ever, which, Judai was supposed to be the passing of the torch from, Yugi to Judai. Very good character. I mean, yeah, GX starts off kind of because the filler is kind of bad, but then you get to Season 3, it's really good. They do really good at that. 5Ds was good also with Yusei. If you can do it right, it goes well. It's like Jojo. A lot of them, that continues down the line of, protagonists. They do well. And then there are just some that just are not creative and they're shit. It just really depends upon the series, realistically. Also, how respectful it is to the characters and how true it still remains to the characters. But a passing of the torch, it can still be good. But yeah, good question, man. Tubble Drubble asks, would you say that Naruto is for kids? I have a 9-year-old cousin who's showing interest in the character. I mean, it's basically embedded itself within culture. You look at Naruto, I think kids could get into it, really. I mean, if you even remember, for those of you who may not know, when Naruto actually came out, it was on Toonami. It was censored, obviously. They took out, a lot of the blood and stuff, but they were still trying to present that to kids. So, I mean, you really still could, because it's like young teenagers, adults, you could do it, So, yeah, I mean, kids could watch it. I mean, there are a lot more gruesome, gritty, and dark anime out there. So Naruto, yeah, it'd be fine. Realistically, Naruto's pretty tame. It really is. Um, on a more serious note, what advice would you give someone who doesn't want to be in a relationship, but whose friends keep trying to hook him up with women? I mean, just tell them you don't want to be in a relationship. I mean, like, you don't have to do something. If, people are telling you to do something, you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. You just be like, hey guys, look, I'm not wanting to be in a relationship. I mean, plain and simple. I mean, if they don't get it, then that's on them. If you don't want to be in a relationship at the time being, you don't have to be. Nothing says you have to be, like, and then whenever you feel ready for it, then you can get into a relationship when you're ready. I mean, you can try for it. But just because somebody's trying to make you doesn't mean you have to. I mean, just tell them you don't want to. I mean, that's all you gotta do. Do you think that the pendulum will swing back eventually at some point? I'd say in a sense, to some degree, we're starting to get there. There are more and more people who are waking up to this woke crap. Some people that were completely oblivious to it before, they're starting to see that, oh, what is this crap? They're starting to see that, schools, for example, a lot of schools are actually basically being nothing more than, indoctrination camps. That's why you're seeing a lot of people take their kids out of schools and do homeschooling. Because, there's alternatives. And they know it. And they're seeing it. It's going on with entertainment. People are starting to see it. They started to see it a few years ago, but they're starting to see it more and more as time goes on. So really, I'd say we're already starting to get the pendulum to swing back. Because, I mean, you have people already creating their own stuff, starting to create new industries, indie creators, both comic, video games, entertainment-wise. Like, I'm telling you, it's already starting to happen. And I think, people are already starting to step up, and the pendulum's already starting to swing. Now, of course, it's not going to just change overnight. It's going to take time. Probably a couple of years to get back to where things once were before this insanity. But it's starting to already happen. You're starting to see it. People are starting to get it, I mean, look around you, and you'll see what I mean. You'll see what I mean. Yeah, good question, man. James95 asks, which art style did you like most of Zenobia? Is the season 2 to 3 or season 4? For me, I have to go with the season 4 art style. Yeah, there was that High School DxD in the anime change. It was, what was it, season 4, I think. And so this was right here, like the season 2, season 3 look, and then right here, this was supposed to be the season 4 look. Yeah, I don't get me wrong, I don't hate the season 4 look. It's just not as sharp as what the season 3 look is. I mean, this is still good, don't get me wrong. But it feels kind of off in comparison to what a lot of people knew the anime as prior. Because, I myself, I got into it by the anime first, then I got into the light novel. And, it's kind of funny because, like, you do get some images in the light novel. They're not as sharp as what the anime was, but it's not as much as the way as, like, season 4's animation style was either. But personally, I'm more of a season 2 and season 3 fan because I like the sharp looking animation. I think it looks better personally, but that's just me. So yeah, Zenobia from season 2 and 3 I think are better than 4, but that's just my opinion. But yeah, good question, man. Best Rat Waifu asks, what do you think of this? So it shows Fubuki here. She's got, like the salt meme. Everybody knows about that. And what this shows is she's sprinkling it. Well, she's sprinkling it down on Bales. Because she's the rat, right? I think it's kind of funny. There's been a lot of pretty funny memes involving the new Hololive VTubers. They've been pretty clever. I'll give them that. They've been some pretty clever stuff. They're pretty good. Not bad. But yeah, no, I like this. It's pretty funny. Pretty cute. James95 asks, here are more Fate memes. Ooh, gotta love the Fate memes, man. I always enjoy this part. This is always good. So you look at this one first off. It shows Artoria and Nero in their fight. Yeah, here's the thing. I can tell you. In the chess department, Nero wins. she is the bigger chested saber, if you know what I mean. Oh, I like this. It's time to go. Was I a good master? No. They were the most wondrous. Oh, that's great. You would think it's like, oh no. It's like, no, it's terrible. Oh man, I do like that. Then the next meme here, which is this one, it shows Morgan. daughter of King Uther Pendragon of Camelot, Morgan has arrived in response to your summon. She's here! Get her! They're all basically just after like a mob. Oh man, Lancelot. Yo, Ma, wait a minute. Oh no. Oh, that would be the weirdest entrance. You just walk in and you expected someone else, and it's like, wait a minute, hold on. It's like you're not supposed to see this. It's like don't worry about what you're seeing right here. Man, talk about ruining a reputation. That'd be the way to it. If only my lance herself was there, I'm sure I won't lose. Yeah, if only I took the lance. Damn that Morgan flexing her body just because she's a little taller than me. Oh, sorry, I didn't see you since you're so small. Aren't you king of knights? Oh man, that's good. Mashu, let me in! I left because I didn't want to see you Master Bang, but I forgot my keys. Mashu, let me in. Oh no. It's great. Father? No, I'm not. Then who is your father? And I have got big tits. Who are you? I'm your father, but evil. And you are? I'm your father, but I'm flat. Let me guess, you're also my father. No, I'm Nero. Oh, this will be good. So, it shows Mordred and King Arthur. King Arthur, male, cave to Chaldea. Are you, this side's Mordred, a male father? Hey, Mordred, that's really rude. There's already several a father here, so I am not really surprised. But is he really a guy or just really good at cross-dressing? Her suspicion of Arthur is even stronger than ever. Yep, there are parts even father doesn't have. Mordred, what are you doing, King? Oh, man. Oh, that's great. Oh. This one, King Arthur, male, came to Chaldea. Yeah, this archer proposed to me here, a male saber, a male version of King Arthur, huh? Ryder, why are you here? The female King Arthur has a decent chest, so I'm curious if that shows on the male one. You are the worst. Let's see. It seems this King Arthur wields 2 Excaliburs. Gilgamesh feeling to hide his resentment. Does this Excalibur also require the release of the Knights of the Round the Words? Oh man, I wish to be irresistible. The man wishing well, it becomes Artoria. Oh, that's that's good. Oh, I do like that. All right, 2 idiots fighting in the hallways of school. Calls a teacher. Yeah, I can see Arash and Mashu. I could definitely see them doing it. Like calling the teacher, cheer them up. Just passing through the student room. Just passing through the student room. That, oh man. The idiots. They'd probably get involved. Join the fight because why? Okay, they're the ones who get involved. Yeah, right. Okay, gotcha. The 2 idiots that are fighting. Oh, throw Tarsky at the ground. Oh man, that's good. I like that. Oh, and then this is Merlin trying to join the knights. And then they push him out. Oh man. Oh, with Archer. Oh man. Oh no. Gilgamesh gets slashed into it, the wall. Oh man. Traits: divine, earth or sky, humanoid, king, male, servant, weak to illish, weak to illish. Oh man. And it shows the Arthur's eating. Yeah, you'd have to have a complete and total just like whole entire banquet just to feed them. Yeah. Oh man, that's hilarious. Oh, I like that. I love you. I love you too. Even more than Pandoru. Know your limits. Oh, poor guy. Too bad. Neru loves her Pandoru too much. Too much. You're never gonna win. Rider in Heaven's Wheel. Rider in Fate and UBW. Oh, this is I just want to ride her in Heaven's Wheel. Oh, it's so good. Good memes, man. Cannon asks, how many of these poses can you successfully pull off? My friend, all of them. but seriously though, I could pull off a couple of them. But the stuff that you sent me, you sent me articles on like health and stuff, man. I mean, they've helped. I've been actually practicing that stuff. So I want to thank you for that, man. I really do. And good question, also. Good question. Metalord 395 asks, if you have a Death Note, would you want to use it? If so, on whom? I would use it basically on, people who prey on children, if you know what I mean. Those would be the people I'd use it on, 100%. Also, like terrorists. Those would be like other people I'd use it on, because, terrible people. I'd say, like, real, actual evil people that would deserve it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just me. But, that's why you use a power responsibly. You don't want to get corrupted by it, because some people can get corrupted by that power, and then it'd be pretty awful. But you get what I mean. Do you know whether sex robots can conceive children? No. At least not right now. I mean, they may try to make it to where they can, but modern time, no. They cannot. At least not to my knowledge. I mean, who knows? Anything could happen right now, and then I'd be like, oh, well, that's new. Oh, God, you never know. But not to my knowledge, no. What do you think of the upcoming live-action She-Ra? I mean, it's more dedicated to the original She-Ra, so better. Better than the trash that came out a couple of years ago. What about the new Super Mario movie? It's gonna be it's gonna be interesting. The Super Mario movie is gonna be interesting, to say the least. I do like Chris Pratt's Mario. I think it's a weird choice, but I'm okay with it. Like, honestly, I still think that they should have the video game voice actors play as the characters over anybody else, but it's Hollywood. I didn't expect them to have them, but I'm still wishy-washy on some of the cast, though. Like I said, still should have the video game voice actors, but that's just me. What do you think of the sitcom Friends? I mean, it's not bad. Definitely a very popular show, even to this very day. It stands strong. It really does. People love to watch it. I mean, it's a good show. What are your thoughts on an anime version of it? I never really thought about it, but in a sense, it kind of technically does exist, because you got a lot of slice of life comedy stuff. I mean, it's not Friends, but it's kind of within the realm of it, just like Japanese culture of it. You get what I mean. So they kind of exist. But I mean, I'd be okay with it. I mean, as long as it was good. What do you think would win, Toph, Beefong, or Neapolitan? Toph? Like, you kidding me? That's not even comparable. I mean, it's really not. What are your thoughts on lying flat, living a minimalist life to support your hobbies? I mean, I think that you should not, reject society. Like, I don't think that's a good idea, because you're pushing yourself away. And lying flat, what that means is to just basically stop, trying to support yourself or support money, just doing so to support your hobbies and just getting away from civilization altogether. I don't think you should do that. I think you should try to communicate with others. I think you should try to build up a family. I mean, it's not that you can't support your hobbies at the same time, but it's also about working up to having a family. So I don't think that lying flat's a good thing. In terms of just giving up on everything and then just being like, yeah, I'm just going to have enough money to support my own hobbies. I think you should try to work towards a family also. I mean, I think you should try to have a social life. It's healthier for people, because humans are social beings. But, I'm just saying. Since Halloween is coming soon, what are some good Halloween anime to watch? I'd watch Corpse Party. That's based off of a game, but I'd say that's a really good one, personally. Hellsing Ultimate's also good for that type of the season. So, if you had to ask me, I'd say that's another one. But yeah, those are a couple I would go with. I mean, hell, you could even watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I mean, it's not Halloween oriented, but some of the things that they jump out with and whatnot, some of the wacky things, I mean, you can count it. I mean, I would. That's just me, though. But yeah, good questions, man. Best Rat Waifu asks, would you rather have big titty goth girls or tomboy supremacy? I've dated both. And I'd probably say tomboy supremacy. But nothing wrong with big titty goth girls either, because they're great too. But tomboy supremacy, because they can be a load of fun. I mean, both can. Don't get me wrong, both can be a load of fun. But I don't know. I really do enjoy tomboys also. I mean, they're great. They really are. And, so I have to probably say Tomboy Supremacy, but that's just me. But anyways, I want to thank you all for the questions. I hope you all enjoyed the Q&A this time around. I do apologize that it was late. Had a couple issues go on, also, working around and whatnot. So, had to try to find the time to get all this out there. So, do apologize for this being as late as it was, and I want to thank you for your patience during this time. I'll be sure to try to get it out sooner. I want to try to get this out by the second week of, November. So, the October Q&A should come out by that Sunday or Monday. So I'd like to do that. If you have any questions, be sure to leave them down below as always. If there's any I forgot, please let me know and I will get to them. I'll be sure to have the Hololive, VTuber chart on who are my favorite VTubers and whatnot in the next one also. So I want to thank all of you as always for your questions. It's always fun answering them, hearing from you. All of you are great, and I appreciate every single last one of you. And I want to thank you for the questions as always. And as well as your patience. But anyways, I hope you all have yourselves a wonderful and fantastic day today. And remember, if today was not a good day, tomorrow can always be better. Take care of yourselves and everyone around you. And have yourselves a good one out there, everybody.